So over the last week or so, we have been collecting the survey responses from the trade associations that we have partnered with to get an understanding about the awareness that their members may or may not have around electricity non-commodity costs. And following from that, we have scheduled a good number of 15-minute calls with some of those businesses, giving them a free impact assessment to them, and some of the results have been quite startling, really. 3 questions I think that would be useful to people. Firstly, what level of increases are businesses typically seeing? Now, this will vary business by business and client by client, but from the work that we have done, not only in these sessions but also in tendering our existing clients to market, I would broadly say that businesses are seeing anywhere between 10 and 30% overall cost increases on their electricity charges. This will vary based on how good, bad, ugly or indifferent their existing contract is. It will also depend on the number of meters that make up that contract, on the basis that typically now the more meters that you have, the higher the impact, particularly to the increase to transmission costs, will be. But I think it's fair to say that very broadly 10 to 30% annual cost increase on electricity. How well prepared are businesses for this? Again, that varies, but it's been very evident that businesses, and some quite large businesses, are completely unaware about the impact that they will be facing. We've spoken to a range of businesses, owners of businesses, finance directors, CFOs, and quite worryingly, I would say, they are unaware of what is coming down the line to them. To give you some sense of the impact, so of the businesses that I spoke to last week who had booked these 15-minute impact assessments with us, the average spend of those clients was circa £900,000 per annum, and via the impact assessment, the average impact was £162,000 per annum. I think the shock on people's faces is evident, but also the fact that depending on their contract structure, so if they're on a pass-through electricity contract, they will bear the brunt of that sooner rather than later, mainly from April next year. So they've got very little time to account for it and plan for it. What should businesses be doing about this? Might sound simple, but the starting point is understanding the impact and knowing your numbers. Get to grips with what the impact is going to be, when it is going to be, and work backwards from that. I would probably encourage people to take advantage of these free assessments that we are running, or at least engage with your existing energy broker or consultant to do a similar thing if they aren't being proactive already on that front. You really need to understand your contract structure. You also need to know which TCR banding you're in. Are you in low voltage, high voltage, extra high voltage, and understand what that means. Is there an opportunity to reduce your KVA, which will potentially move you down a banding, which would make the impact less to you? For those who have high voltage or extra high voltage supplies, there is an opportunity, it's quite a unique thing, to effectively downgrade to low voltage supply if you're not making use of that high voltage or extra high voltage supply. And we do that alongside one of our partners, and you might want to explore that as a way of mitigating some of the increases that are coming. I think overall the message has to be that, from what I have seen, businesses are definitely not prepared for this. They are not aware of the impact. They have very poor understanding and visibility on their contract structure, and I would suggest that people continue to book those free impact assessment conversations and calls with us to understand what the numbers really mean for them.